want it to go down too sappy, but just learn from not having to touch the stove. The hardest part wasn't losing the rank. It was hearing my own name again. Not captain, not cap, just me. The room changed. The conversation changed. Respect changed. And the worst of it all, the trust changed. Guys you feel like you could have gone through fire with looked at me differently. Some disappointment, some distant, some silent. And when the noise finally died down, I had to face the truth I've been avoiding. I built too much identity on the title. And that's why Ecclesiastes chapter 2 really hits. And you could see it with Solomon. Solomon had everything. He had respect, he had accomplishments, he had power, he had control, recognition, influence. And then he realized something devastating, just like chasing the wind. None of it could hold him together internally. That's what happens after the fall. Because losing rank is one thing, but losing the brotherhood, losing trust, feeling the respect leave the moment you walk in the room, that cuts deep. And that's especially in the fire service, because the firehouse isn't the normal workplace. It's very different. Around that kitchen table, you solve all the world problems, and it can't be replicated. I haven't seen it. I feel like I've worked a lot of jobs. It becomes identity, family, purpose, your tribe. And when you feel separate from that, it feels personal. Part of you gets ripped out. Let's talk about the silence after the failure, the drive home after the shift, the replaying the conversations that you had while on shift, at home, your mind, the embarrassment. You start remembering every moment your ego showed up, talking too much, needing the recognition, thinking position meant maturity. You start to forget humility. And eventually you realize people didn't stop trusting overnight. It wasn't a one-time event. It was multiple events. It's multiple times and a repeated behavior. Trust erodes slowly. One conversation, one reaction, one ego-driven moment at a time. They refer to it as chasing the wind. And as hard as you try to hold on to the status, when really it was character that was slipping away in my situation. There's something painful about losing the title people once gave you naturally. No one announces it. It just disappears. And suddenly hearing your first name feels heavier than what it should, because it reminds you that the title isn't permanent. But maybe that's where rebuilding actually starts. When there's no rank to hide behind, no image to protect, no reputation left to manage, just you and the truth. I needed rebuilding before I got demoted. The demotion just exposed it to me. Had plenty of warning. Solomon, he talks about it in chapter 2. The point isn't that work is pointless or meaningless. He says, I came to hate all my hard work. How meaningless. So I give up in despair, questioning the value of it all, of all my hard work in this world. Here's the truth. It's that achievement without humility eventually empties a man. And that's why I like the NLT version of it. Everything is meaningless. That's the way that they put it there. In the ESV version, it's called vanity. In the King James version, it's vexation of spirit. Different wording, same truth. A man can climb high professionally while quietly collapsing personally. This chapter isn't about giving up. It's about waking up. Rebuilding trust is brutal because it's slow. You don't talk your way out of it. You live your way out of it. Quiet, consistency, humility, listening more, owning mistakes fully, showing up without demanding recognition. And maybe the hardest part, accepting that some people may not ever look at you the same. That hurts, but maturity means rebuilding anyway. Not for applause, not for rank, but because becoming a better man matters more now. Here's the final message. Maybe this season isn't punishment. Maybe it's refinement, because some lessons only arrive after the ego breaks. And maybe hearing your own name again isn't humiliation. Maybe it's the beginning of becoming real again. Not captain, not the title, not the image. Just a guy rebuilding his character one shift at a time. And honestly, that guy may become stronger than the one who wore those bugles. If you're in the rebuilding phase 2, I urge you to keep showing up quietly, humbly, consistent. Trust takes time. Respect takes time, but character is built exactly this way, one honest day at a time. Thanks for watching. Try to make things a little bit more lively for the next ones. Have a good night.